Destroy All Monsters was directed by Ishiro Honda and was heavily implied to be basically the ending of Godzilla and the general monster verse that Toho had created. This would be a complete lie, and these movies would basically continue on and off up to the present day. But it seemed to imply that, at least for now, Godzilla and his rogues gallery would be coming to an end.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Oh, hello. I'm sure you are somewhat mildly annoyed by the fact that my review for Destroy All Monsters was playing when instead this is supposed to be a review for All Monsters Attack. Well, this is to prove a point. The point being that making glorified clip shows is never a good choice. That is what All Monsters Attack is. It is an anti-bullying PSA wrapped in a clip show, and it's the worst of these movies that I have reviewed in this series. In my research, I found that this was done for budgetary reasons. I can understand to that. Money doesn't grow on trees. But from what I have understood, these movies were very successful in Japan. So why they choose now to cut back on budgets, I refuse to guess. Now let me just say, the fact that this is an anti-bullying PSA is not lost on me. I think it's a very noble message. But when you put it in the middle of a movie in which you have Godzilla, his son, and a new monster named Gabara, yeah, that's where you lose me. If you're going to make an anti-bullying movie, make an anti-bullying movie. Like, don't cram Godzilla and his rogues gallery into it just because it's going to appeal to the kids. And that's what this movie feels like.
How do you do, fellow kids?
There are precisely two things that I liked about this movie. One, it's very short. It's just over an hour. It's an hour and 9 minutes. So at least it was mercifully short. And Gabara, when we do see the monster, is actually pretty cool. I like the design on him. The rest is just shameless stock footage, old fight scenes from Ibera Horror of the Deep, Destroy All Monsters, and just several previous Godzilla films. And they have the nerve to kind of tie it all together into this whole thing where this little boy is not only being bullied by kids his age, but is also being hunted by this mysterious criminal outfit. I don't know if it's the Yakuza or if it's someone else. I don't know, and I don't care. I'm third generation don't care at a certain point in this movie, and when these dudes show up, like, we gotta find this child who knows our secrets, I was completely checked out. This movie is horrid. I'm sorry. I hate to be that person. I understand what these filmmakers were trying to go for, and I can somewhat relate to it. And I can understand why they did it, but my God, like, there is a certain point where, yes, you can understand where they're coming from, and then at a certain point it just borders on and then crosses the border into waste of time. This movie felt like it was wasting my time. It's an hour and 9 minutes of movie that I will never get back. And I'm also aware that stock footage was used in previous movies in the Showa era. I am aware of that. I understand that. And I'm also trying to be as lenient as possible in the regard to the fact that the studio was trying to be pound wise and penny foolish, or the other way around. I understand that. I understand where Toho is trying to go for, to a certain extent. But again, it comes back to the whole "you're wasting my time" thing, and that's just unforgivable. Just play the Roger Ebert clip, please.
That I admire what he did, and I hate it.
Look, Ibera Horror of the Deep and Son of Godzilla are not super great, but at least they're mostly original movies. They are not clip shows, so watch any one of those. Just watch Destroy All Monsters, skip this one. What did you think of All Monsters Attack? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. And stay tuned for Wednesday, where I will be covering to, hopefully, nothing. Stock footage is kept to a minimum with this one, Godzilla versus Hedorah.